It's been years since the last season of Black Mirror came out, and that's mostly thanks to the pandemic. Still, many shows have started to film again, but one show we've hardly had any news about is Black Mirror. Until now, after a 3-long-year wait, we finally have some info about the upcoming season 6 of the show, and we're pretty excited to hear it. Here, we have 5 things we know about the series. First up, season 6 doesn't have a release date yet, so season 6 of Black Mirror is confirmed, according to Variety, but the show's release date hasn't yet been finalized. Honestly, that's not that surprising, especially considering that we just discovered that a new season was in the works in the first place back in May. Expecting a 2022 release date would have been too ambitious and hopeful to wish for. Still, if luck's on our side, we might get a chance to see season 6 next year in 2023, so long as there aren't any more production delays. We can only hope that it comes through, and we'll be able to stream awesome Black Mirror episodes soon enough. Next up, season 6 will have more episodes than season 5. Season 5 of Black Mirror was undoubtedly pretty amazing. Not only were the episodes as thrilling and shocking as always, but some pretty prominent stars made their appearances, like Anthony Mackie and Miley Cyrus. But at the same time, it had a huge problem, only 3 episodes. We already had to wait a lot for season 5, which was released in 2019, but now waiting over 3 years for the next season while getting such a small morsel was a bummer. Thankfully, this isn't going to be a recurrent thing. According to the Variety article, season 6 will have more episodes than season 5, and while we don't know exactly how many, at least we can rest peacefully knowing it for a minimum of 4. Interestingly, the article also revealed that the episode will be even more cinematic in scope, and that each episode will be treated as a short film. This makes us think that they might pull off something like Stranger Things, what they did with their Volume 2 endings, and make each episode feature length, but honestly, we wouldn't be mad, but that's just our theorizing. Coming up, a lot of big names actors and actresses are joining the cast. One of the best things about Black Mirror is the fantastic cast. As it's an anthology series, they don't have to stick to just a few actors to the core team, but they get to introduce new actors in each episode of the series. So far, many familiar faces have popped up in the series, from singer Miley Cyrus and star Benedict Wong to even Bryce Dallas Howard and Daniel Kaluuya, so honestly, it's a pretty in tune to what their tradition, with some more famous names will being added to the cast next season. According to Variety, some pretty prominent names will appear in the upcoming series. They even shared specifically who, and buckle your seatbelts because this is pretty awesome. For season 6, Aaron Paul, Josh Hartnett, Kata Mara, Zazie Beetz, and Paapa Essiedu will join the cast alongside others like Danny Ramirez, Clara Rugaard, and more. Considering all the amazing work that these performers have done, this is pretty awesome news. For instance, Zazie Beetz wrapped up the most current season of Atlanta while also appearing in the cast of Bullet Train, and for the past 2 seasons, Aaron Paul has starred in The Westworld on HBO. He returned to his legendary role as Jesse Pinkman in Better Call Saul and prequel series to Breaking Bad. And then we even have Danny Ramirez, who was a member of the cast of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier in 2021 and featured in the 2022 mega hit Top Gun Maverick. Even better, Variety shared that both Selma Hayek and Annie Murphy are currently in talks to join season 6, which would be extremely awesome. Still, even if they don't, the cast is already pretty star-studded. Moving on, season 6 of the show is believed to be in production as of July 2022. In the first Variety article about casting for the show, they shared that as of July 2022, the show was believed to be in production for season 6, which lines up with all the recent reports of filming. Even the Olive Press reported at the end of June 2022 that filming was taking place across Spain's Costa del Sol, adding that filming would still be happening in July. Keeping this in mind, it's not too far off to assume that we could be expecting a stream season 6 in 2023, but still, since we don't have a date for the new season yet, that is just speculation. Finally, Black Mirror's creator didn't think audiences could stomach another season of Black Mirror back in 2020. 2020, the year of the pandemic when people were isolated at home and society came to a sudden stall for over a year. Considering a lot of people struggled with their mental health during the pandemic, a stomach that points out the issue of society and more often not portrays a break dystopian society where some issues are even more prominent might have been a bit too much for some viewers, and that was exactly the creator of Black Mirror thought when he postponed the release of season 6. He didn't think viewers could stomach watching society fall apart anymore on their screen when real life was already doing it in well. Instead, he decided to work on his comedic side and wrote scripts that made him laugh. But now that the pandemic isn't such a huge issue anymore, he's back to Black Mirror again. Now moving on to other news. First up, Netflix unveils spine-chilling trailer of Mike Flanagan's The Midnight Club. The Midnight Club, a new horror series from Mike Flanagan, now has an official trailer on Netflix. The 10-episode horror story based on Christopher Pike's novel of the same name follows a group of terminally ill patients at Rotterdam home who gather at midnight to swap spooky spooky stories if one of them dies? The group agrees to communicate with the others from the hereafter. Adia, Igby, Rigney, Ruth Codd, Aya Furukawa, Anara Shepard, William Chris Sumter, and Saryan Sapkota are the show's cast members. Heather Langenkamp plays the mysterious doctor in charge of Rotterdam Home. Flanagan and The Haunting of Bly Manor writer Leah Fong are the series creators, along with Trevor Macy and Adam Fasulo, vice president of television at Intrepid Pictures. Flanagan executive producers. Author Pike of The Midnight Club, Julia Bicknell, and Fong serve as executive producers. The series writers are Elan Gale, Chinaka Hodge, and James Flanagan. Flanagan will also be directing the first 2 episodes. Next up, Jeffrey Dahmer, now in Netflix's 2 most popular shows, with Tapes release. We doubt that anyone, not even Netflix, could have foreseen how large of a presence Jeffrey Dahmer would have on the streaming service. For a substantial chunk of the year, the drama Dahmer has received 500 million hours of viewing and was dominating the Netflix rankings for weeks now. Given that a second Jeffrey Dahmer show has debuted at number 2, it looks like Jeffrey Dahmer is now the topic of Netflix's top 2 series. Confessions of a Killer, Jeffrey Dahmer Tapes are a docuseries, not a drama. The 3rd installment of the Confession series, which previously focused on Ted Bundy and John Wayne Gacy, was just published in aftermath of Jeffrey Dahmer, with undoubtedly some sort of synergy planned. The 3-part, 3-hour-long series revisits Dahmer's atrocities, but this time includes a lot more film and conversations with the murderer after he was apprehended. Many of those conversations were recreated for the Dahmer drama, and viewers have already begun contrasting Evan Peters' Emmy-nominated portrayal of the actual Dahmer. The Jeffrey Dahmer tapes are available for streaming now on Netflix. Finally, Netflix making a new thriller, Darkwire, with Emmy winner Jason Bateman. A new thriller called Darkwire is being developed by Netflix and stars Emmy winner Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman, who has won an Ozark Emmy Award and is the producer and director of the Netflix original movie Darkwire. The movie is based on the upcoming book by Joseph Cox. According to what's on Netflix, Matthew Orton will write the screenplay and make the novel by Cox into a movie. Dan Cohen, Mikhail Kostigan, Dan Levine, and Tracy Nyberg served as the film's executive producers. The thriller will cover how the FBI secretly ran an encrypted phone company to launch one of the largest sting operations in history. The cast members haven't been confirmed yet, and it's not fully confirmed whether Bateman will be starring in the thriller, aside from producing and directing the movie. But that's a wrap for this video, my friends. What are you most excited for in Black Mirror Season 6? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.